lot left to do on this painting. Oh, let's do it that way first. There. So I could work on the background a bit. White background. It's kind of bugging me. I'd like to try and work on the skin a bit. It's a bit too pale. We'll get to what we need to. Today I've got a new thing to look into. Can you see it? No, it's very reflective too. Go with that, I guess. Missed that part. I went out and bought a painted glass to turn it into a palette, so that we could have something on the canvas to look at, as opposed to having to continuously sideline it, as well as something you can see through and constant. Alright. So, you know what? Pull that up real quick. And there we are. There's that. Okay. So for again, I really do need bigger space. I like the legs here. Maybe like about here is fair enough for the color, but the thighs back here, those need to be a much darker shade, and I want to try and work on that today. So where do we begin? All right, so how do I get the that particular shade? It's darker turn, but it's not black. It's more of a brown. So let's start off with that. Okay, so let's start with sorry. Let's see where it goes. We also got this one here. I think that one might be closer to what we need, but I don't just need a brown, I need the flesh tone. So let's work with getting that tone again and working back from there. Here as a base layer. And it was white to pale it up a bit. But I think I had I'm gonna need a bit of red. I think it's a weird color. It's on the low end of the warm spectrum for the color. I don't quite have that. And any color I would have would be very overpowering. And I'm going to toss this in here just to see if it'll do anything. I doubt I'll need a lot of that, but that might just bring it back into a direction I need. Actually, I think I might pull this guy out here. I bought a color wheel way back when because I might need to figure out a way to find it. It looks like adding white to red will give me a pink. That's close enough. But I need a pink. I need doesn't help. Red, orange, yellow. See, the skin tone is very particular color. It's a blend of everything. Oh. And actually, technically speaking, skin tone is made that color slightly, partly, very marginally by blue because you do have the veins in your body. Well, let's experiment. Let's see where we go. Alright, so we got the main base there. Mix some of that up. This is a fair skin, at least the highlights. That's a bit closer to tone, the shade we need to use. Alright, so let's see. Oh, that ain't gonna be pretty. Get a plastic one. That might work out. We'll figure it out. Alright, so I wanted a bit of red in there to start and see if... But that turns it pink. That's always my problem. It's very bright colors. I need a very... not so bright color. Well, let's introduce some brown. Maybe bring it back down some. All right. That just turns it to a dark mush. How do I get a flesh tone? That's getting a bit closer. It's not anywhere close, but it's in a better direction. It's a bit. Yeah, I think that little bit of orange is actually helping out a significant chunk. Alright, so. There we are, I think. Well, we'll try it. We'll try it. Alright, so let's give it a shot. Alright, so. I made the same color I had. Kind of amazing. I was not planning on that. But at least that means I got the same tone. Okay, so now I need to mix in darkening factor. It needs to be a bit darker. So let's go. Oh. I can fix it. I can fix it. Alright, so slightly darken color. It's a bit hard for me to recognize specifically what needs to happen, where it needs to go. I don't know why, but it just not quite able to immediately say, oh yeah, that just needs a bit of this, especially for the skin tone. That's always the tough one. So we got back here. Not quite right, but not entirely wrong. I don't know. We'll work with it. We'll work with it. But so it goes. This glass palette's looking pretty good. It's maybe a bit weird on the screen, but it works out for what I was trying to do. At least so far. The big question is the cleanup afterwards, because the acrylic sheet didn't work out for that one. But it's nice and so good. Oh, also, there's a, like I've mentioned before a couple of times, there's a Halloween contest, Halloween fan art contest that I want to try and take part in. The due date is the end of the month, the 30th, and so I'm gonna work on this today and tomorrow, and then I'm gonna shift over to that one. Still somewhat undecided on the exact direction to go, especially since I'm gonna have to be creating something from scratch. I do know I want it to be Umineko themed. Just too many characters to choose from to narrow it down. This is looking... yeah. Alright, it's weird. Me looking at it here, it looks okay, but then I look up at the camera and I see it sticks out a bit more than I'd like it to. What I'm trying to go for is a smooth blend of some of this, but still being a highlightable spot. Like in the picture over here. Her leg right here has a highlight. It's got a highlight, but if I put too much of the same color there, it won't be there. It'll just look like, well, I could put the highlight in afterwards. I think that's what I'll do. Alright. Yeah, because one of the things... yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with the afterwards version. Alright, and then we've got down here. One of the other things is there's rim lighting. Highlights, you can see it most prominently on the knee here, like right here, at the very edge of her thigh. It's a new highlight right at the end, as opposed to it being shaded all the way through. I want to try and keep that in there, but I think I'll have to go over it afterwards with a brighter color, as opposed to not paint it with a dark color, or so to speak. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, welcome. Sitting here doing a bit more painting. I got the new glass pane. It works out. A bit different. Trying it out. I think I might like it. But the big question is if it'll be here tomorrow. But yeah. Try and work on the shading. Getting a bit more color into it than just the pale aspect I had before. One of the other things is there's very orange tint to it, but I don't seem to have that. I can't. Orange is very hard. Orange is hard. And because she's sitting by a campfire, it needs to be. Well, I could try yellow, but I don't have one of those. I've got bright yellow, pale yellow, and dark yellow. I don't have an orange yellow. Yeah. Oh, let's do what I can. That's one of the other things I'm trying to come to terms with. I don't have all of the colors of the rainbow available to me. I've got the paint that's sitting in on my table here. So that's there. It's just a bit more interesting trying to figure out how things come together like that. But there. A bit darker up top there. Seems a bit closer. But yeah, orange is a hard one to get right. But I'm gonna still keep trying, because orange you'd imagine you could just make with reds and maybe yellows, but it doesn't turn out like that. It's different. could try actually. I could try mixing in orange, red and a yellow. See what all I'd end up with. Alright, but working on the knee right now. Alright, so there. There's a bit of a shape there. Some more underlying shading here. Out of it. Oh, also in other news, I've officially told my manager that I'm leaving. So there's a big old step. I've been kind of hee-hawing around when to do it, how to do it, stuff like that. Finally decided to do it. So yeah, now it's official. I'm leaving. Still an ambiguous date, just so I can try and train my replacement. But let's go here. And here. To go like that. Give me a sec, trying to focus on that. But yeah, so I will be leaving. That's I've given my month-and-a-half-ish notice. Still worried about what I'm gonna say I'm gonna be leaving them in, because I'm not really superstitious. I like pay attention, like good luck coins and shit like that. Nothing really all that entirely, but over the past couple weeks, I keep running into things that seem to be screaming I should be staying. It's a weird scenario, but yeah, like run into friends I haven't seen in a long time, just sitting there chatting with them, doing this, doing that. People sitting there complimenting the hell out of me. It's really awkward sometimes, but I'm gonna stick with it, gonna keep going, see where it goes. I'm gonna stick with my choice, whatever it may be, whatever it ends up as. Don't say that right now. But no, it's I could technically stay, but I'm making the choice not to. I'm gonna be leaving, gonna try and see where life takes me. I'm making a conscious choice to take my life into my own hands, rather than waiting for life to happen to me. Yeah, well, thank you for worrying about it. I think my family is worrying about me too a bit, but I know I'll be okay. I know it's not gonna be worst case scenario. I'm actually gonna be alright with how it turns out. My biggest concern, honestly, is getting a job, because I'll be going there, buying a place to stay, or renting a place to stay, likely with a roommate or such. And then once I have a place set down, immediately look for a job that can pay for all of it. Keep my finances going, yada yada. It's not unreasonable, but it's my worry is the time frame, because here in the town I'm at, It took me about 3 months to finally get a job, and that was with Walmart and not really much of a resume. Then I walked into the Radio Shack job I'm at here. I quite literally was being given a ticket as I was pulling in the parking lot. Walked in, you accepting resumes? Yeah, I guess. Handed it in, and they wanted an interview the next day. So I know I'm good enough for jobs. I just am worried about finding one in time. Is my biggest worry. But I can live. I can live off very little for a long time. I've done it before. I don't want to, but I can. And yeah, it's yeah. One of the other things is what this move is for me. Going to other areas. Yes. Wait. 3ds Max is a 3D modeling program, modeling animation, yada yada program. Yes, I have heard of that. That was actually originally the first 3D program I learned on back when I was like 13 or so. I'm gonna make video games, man. And I started learning that during like, what was it? I think like, I want to say like 3ds Max 6 or something like that. I don't even know what they're on anymore. But I do have Blender as the program I've most experience with anyways. But photorealistic images of rooms and houses can be a profession. Yeah, but I'm not quite sure what for. Well, it's like people can make all sorts of. Let's go this way. Seem to have found the issue, but I can work into 3D modeling and such, but I'm not all that effective at the photorealistic aspect. The textures and the coloring, that's one that is difficult for me. If I can figure out a way to paint onto the texture, the 3D model, then I would be alright. But as it is, I would be more of a modeler than a full-on do everything. And animation is also not my strong point. I just haven't put any time into it, enough time into animation to get any good at it. Architectural 3D rendering. Well, that's, people need 3D houses for projects, so it's makes sense. But yeah, there's all sorts of odd, interesting jobs. But yeah, I've looked at weird ones. I tend to be a guy who is fine with a lot of things. When I was first looking for jobs, I was considering a emergency medical technician, EMT, 911 operator, because I know I could handle it a lot better than some other people. I tend to be level-headed in a lot of situations where level-headedness is kind of really important to be. But I decided not to go with that because I was depressed at the time, and then dealing with people who have like people dying in front of them might not have been the best career choice at that time. So yeah, but I've always been willing to try other oddball things. Fake photos of yet unbuilt buildings. Well, yeah, how else are they going to sell it to the millionaires who want to buy it? But yeah, it's just, there's all sorts of stuff like that. I've looked into the EMT field. I've looked at bike couriering. I've looked at cemetery landscaper, dude who just walks around and cleans up the cemetery. I ain't afraid of no ghost. And I figured some of that stuff could be able to facilitate a stream easier, better hours or so, something like that, as opposed to the weird hours I have currently. But yeah, and anyway, the whole point I'm making with all this is I'm willing to try a lot of different things to get things to work right. So it's, if I need to go without something for a while, I can do it. If I need to do something a bit like that, I can do it. But the one big thing I'm really hoping for this move is selecting a lifestyle that I want to live. Not one that I'll be okay with, but one I want to have. That's the big thing for me, because I could work at McDonald's for the rest of my life. I technically, physically could, but I don't want to. I want something a bit more. So that's what I'm going to be aiming for. May not be perfect, but if it's a direction I want to go, it's one I want to try and pursue. Whatever it may happen to be. But yeah, it's I could work at doing your 3D modeling stuff. I tend to like working with character modeling as opposed to architectural stuff, but I could do that, I'd imagine. Well, I could give it a shot. If you want, maybe one of these streams later on, I could work at just making something or other like that. Design a house. Design the Ushiromiya mansion in 3D. Though I would kind of need floor plans or something for that. Yeah, that would be something. Because how big is that place? It's not too many rooms, but there's a lot of it. Fake photos made in 3ds Max. Alright. Give me a sec. Alright. Quiet, you messenger thingy. Yeah, a lot of that is the lighting, the rendering that makes it look like that. There's one with a gray bed with a wood paneling background. That looks fake because the lighting is too smooth. Yeah, some of the other ones look a lot more realistic. And honestly, at my current skill level, I don't think I could do something like that. I could try maybe borrowing textures. Not bad. It's a thing, I guess. But yeah, for me, it's my biggest trouble, or my biggest hurdle in my 3D modeling stuff was the texturing and lighting. I think I could work with some of the lighting with what I had, but the texturing was something I fell really flat on. Hey, so this is gonna be interesting. Alright, so and this curve right here is a very odd one. Like in the picture, it's a very solid line from here to her chest. That's not how light actually works. So I'm going to try and fix that aspect. One of the other things, recently I've been, hello, welcome. Oh, the video, Cedar Rapids finished downloading. I'm gonna try and watch it today if I can. Just by the way, but keep an eye on it. A year or two before you can do something like that. Well, yes and no. It's there's different aspects for 3D modeling and whatnot. Like that photorealistic stuff, I could technically make a cabinet, a bed or something, and it would look, I could model it. I'm pretty somewhat confident in my modeling abilities, so I could make it shaped right, but I couldn't really figure out a texture or a perfect one for that, or what have you, until much later. And then there's the lighting aspect, which I would have to work with. But yeah, it's possible, it's feasible, but I also kind of like the stylistic style of things, such as characters here, for instance. Very light shading here. Well, maybe I could just needs a bit further over here. Nah. What I'm doing here is I keep getting the mindset of I gotta do it one way first, because the skin currently she has is more of a mid-tone, so I'm going from the dark tone right now to a highlighted tone right here, but trying not to overdo it. We're talking about photorealistic architecture, some such. Speaking of, any particular reason you brought that up? Just been looking around or so? So let's go with... I'm imagining they did some of these lighting choices to highlight certain features, but I don't think that's really what they should have done. Looks very odd. Learning new skills. Oh, really? Oh, cool. You thinking about taking it up yourself? I've got Blender, which is a free 3D modeling program, which can do a lot of the things those programs can, but they do it a bit differently. It's free after all, so. And kind of the biggest reason I picked it up because it was free. 1, 2, 3 design. New skill learning is fun. Absolutely, it's having a lot of fun learning to paint and whatnot. Mostly, there's always going to be some odd little hiccup here and there, but like right here, this point right here should not be highlighted, and this point should be shaded. On the original picture over here, you can check right here, and it's a very bright highlight right here, but it's very shaded right here. That shouldn't happen. This highlight here should fall on over to here, or the shade from here should bleed on over here. It shouldn't be like that unless it's very bizarre. It's very bizarre. I don't quite know why they went with that. I like this song. It's very upbeat, triumphant, and you did it type of thing. Alright. Yeah, new skills. It's learning new skills is also kind of my namesake here on this channel, and always willing to try new things. It's or at least wanting to be willing to try new things. Yeah. 4 years ago. Oh, really? Sweet. If you got like any images, any screenshots and shit, love to see them. ZBrush, for instance, would probably be interested in it too. She's a big 3D modeler, hence her name, ZBrush, that whole thing. But yeah, it's yeah, my folks back in the day when they were trying to figure out what place they wanted to move to, they had, I think, some Google SketchUp thing. It was something weird. It was a block building thing for housing, and they tried to 3D model their dream house, so to speak. No worries. And to be honest, a fair amount of what you have learned probably has changed a fair bit. Give me 1 sec. May have changed a fair bit, but the concepts are probably very similar. Very, very much the same. Just how you go about them is different. But yeah, it's hell. I had a 3ds Max Studio book that I first learned from. I'm not even gonna try looking for it. I don't even think I have it anymore. Yeah, that was my first 3D modeling program, and it worked. I think I made a catapult. Was it? Was the first thing I did? No. The first thing I made was a bouncing ball animation. That was really horrible. Because it has tweens, things you can like in between. You make the ball here, and on frame 1, and then on frame 8 it's down here, and then at frame 10 it squishes, and then at frame 12 it comes back up here. So, and then have the computer figure out the middle ground for you. So my ball went squish, bounce, bounce, bounce. It was very unnatural, but close enough, and for the first time it worked out. But it was my first foray into an animation. I'm always fascinated by it, but recently YouTube has been recommending me rough animations for original Disney films, like Tarzan and Beauty and the Beast, stuff like that. Quite primitive. Well, to be fully honest, you design things based off of primitives. That's how those 3D modeling programs work. Alright, so bit of a shade here. Yeah, I'd love to see it. If I can find any of my old stuff, I doubt any of it exists anymore, but if it does, I can show you what I made. But yeah, it's need to get back into 3D. I did make a freaking Sentry, man. It's impressive. Well, modeled and shit. I just had a brain fart. What was I gonna say? I've completely forgotten my train of thought. You know. Stop thinking about it, and it'll come back to me in like 5 minutes. Maybe. Alright, so. Yeah. hard thing about painting here is, especially with acrylics, I guess, is the blending aspect. So right here, it's like solid, and then patchy, and then not. There's like no middle ground. It's annoying. I don't know. I'll work on it. But yeah, it's Beatrice, have you seen my my last year's Halloween thing? Or the year before? I can't remember which one it was. It's really weird. I'm trying to remember when all I did all my shit. So yeah, I made a Halloween model of one of the characters as a vampire in Blender, which was pretty fun. Horribly over modeled, but for a single piece, that's not all that bad. And it took me like 2 months to make it. Alright, yeah, it's I think I'll try and pull out some pictures of that as a model or whatnot. I also had a guy I made just started doodling one day in 3D, seeing just where the hell it would take me, and it ended up with me making a Cyclops dragon snake dude on a rock. Yeah, I had no direction. I quite literally started with a cube, just a 6-sided cube. Luma badge. I saw that. It's pretty good, man. And that's actually a different aspect of modeling. I think you made that one with some line work, right? And more math than intuition, I guess. That's some impressive stuff, because that took, I'd imagine, take a lot of planning. To get it in a state like that. Alright, so give me just a moment here. Alright, so that's that. That's that. Crash. Yeah, save often. It's what everybody always yells at you for. Don't forget to save. And even with that, we still don't listen because we're all idiots. Alright. So I'm gonna try and clean up a bit over here. Should be you, maybe. Oh, let's see. Oop. But yeah, it's this. I had slowdowns for the stuff I did. I don't think I crashed all that much. At least nothing overly memorable for it. Other than, I think, when I was trying to pose it, because that was always a weird one. Yeah, I'm not the autosave guy. It's, I don't know what it is, but I have a weird issue with saving and layers. For whatever reason, I don't like layers. They make things weird, even though they like. Give me just 1 sec to materialize my thoughts here. Yeah, it's whatever reason I have trouble with layers. They don't quite agree with me for whatever reason. It's a weird tangent, I know. You were talking about saving and I'm talking about layers. But I started way back when, trying to do some digital artwork because I wanted to be an artist and like draw shit and stuff like that. But I was gonna say it never came to be, but here I am. But I would always try and draw on the same layer, and that's something that they always tell you don't do, but it never. Shifting between layers was always a pain for me. It's like, okay, this is the head layer, this is the body layer, this is the hand layer, this is the finger layer, this is the clothes layer, this is the shirt layer, and just, okay, what the hell layer am I on? I would never name them. It's always layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, group 1, group 2, group 3. That's how I would always organize all that shit. And it never felt right to me. VRML. You'll have to explain what that one is. This one needs just the tiniest bit of virtual reality machine learning? I have no idea what that stands for. But yeah, I understand layers, and I know how they work, and they do a lot of things. The only time I really did work with a lot of layers effectively was actually my overlay, the one I've got surrounding my stream right now, because each character was on their own layer. That was about it. Moving them around to make it fit better. But for me, doing it in like a creative fashion, as in like drawing, I always felt off. I can't explain it, but it's like, even on this painting stuff, I'm doing layers. Your ugly house. Okay, let's pull it up and then put it on screen here. Just give me a second, I'll show it to the world. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But oh, that's not bad actually, not bad. Yeah, especially for a first one, you can see the primitiveness of it. Yeah, but that's actually not bad, not bad. Cool. It actually reminds me a bit of especially that doorway there, of the Keiichi's place, with the that weird entryway thing they've got there. Pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Thank you for sharing. Now look, where the hell are my windows? Early format free Spaz VRML. You guys keep coming up with weird names for weird things I've never heard of. There's a website. 3D World. Yeah, I've heard of something like that as well. A bit more modern, though I don't quite know how it is currently, but it was a thing called Second Life, I think is what it was, and it was where a lot of people went and lived a second life of some sort, and there was all sorts of modding things that people had. You could like build shoes and shirts and like a house and stuff. 2 weeks of dabbling. Oh well, that's actually pretty good for just 2 weeks of dabbling. But yeah, it's in and of itself, we all kind of know how building blocks work, but the real skill becomes how you put those building blocks together, and that comes with time and experience. Before Second Life, though. Alright. Maybe it's a prequel. Some aside, I've never been on Second Life. I've been in forums of other gaming stuff where they bring that up occasionally. I've seen bits of it, and it was odd. It's not quite like it seemed like The Sims, which is I've never been fond of The Sims. It's never quite clicked with me. I don't know. But yeah, because I don't know. I guess one of the things is like a lot of those aspects is living a dream life or living something like that, and that just doesn't click with me. I live my life. I am me. I am not an avatar. I am not something else. I don't know. I'm not against people who do that, but it's just not how I go about things. Yeah. Let's just build and sell things and people buy things quick. Well, here's the question. How much would people pay for some of that stuff? Just random, arbitrary, whatever things. Because I would never personally pay real money for things like that. So I'm curious, how much did people pay for that? Just honestly. It wasn't for real money. Okay. In that regards, it's a bit different. But I know people would pay real money for a lot of that stuff. Let's try this. That's where a lot of also like architectural housing stuff comes into play as well. Fake bugs, $1 million plus. Well, it's impressive. I'm never able to play the market. I don't have that mindset, that drive that a lot of other people do. I like that one game that you linked, Beatrice. Can't remember what the hell that name was, but that space gambling thing, where they made all sorts of weird things. Where it's like real money MMO. What is this? Well, yeah, that's honestly how I go about things. Whenever I had an auction house or money aspect in the game, I would just put it up one cheaper than the other guy, just because I didn't have enough. Like in World of Warcraft, they had all these guys who would play the auction house. It needs to be this price to beat these guys to do yada yada whatever. And it's like they'd have like 20 stacks of copper or whatever the hell it was at the time. And I would just put it up like a penny cheaper than the other guy, and it would sell, and that would be it. I'd have one piece and they'd have 20, so I'd just steal one customer from them, thereabouts. But I never had the drive for that. My dad, he was a bit different. He managed to play the market. He liked working out the ideal way to go about things, and he'd kind of sit there and grind and work at getting the perfect run for things. Like, okay, this is the map that has the most iron ore, so I can sell that for a bit higher price than I could the silver ore or whatever it is that he went with. There was all sorts of calculations and plots and plans and whatnot. And this was before auto Chinese gold bot farming, mind you. It was still there, but not as prevalent as it apparently has turned out to be. yeah, so it worked out. There's always been a gold bot, gold farmer, what have you, in video games. Well, ever since Warcraft, anyway. Nice, enjoy my piece. Yeah, and I had a similar thing. It's the biggest thing is Warcraft was my the only real link I have to this stuff. But I was an engineer, and a gnomish engineer at that. So I had things that a lot of other people weren't able to make. It was a very niche profession, and so if somebody needed something really weird made for like a quest, or they wanted to try and have this oddball thing, well, yeah, sure, I can make that for you. Like, cool, sweet man. One of them was a miniature mechanical yeti. It was an ugly, horrible thing, but some people wanted it, and I was able to make it for them because I had the ability to. Or the world enlarger. I loved all that fun shit. But yeah, this, I know, but it's always been weird. That's in video games. I was always, depending on the game, but in like MMOs, I was always pretty relatively poor. I was never flush with money and any of that stuff. But but I never imagined spending real money to get virtual items for a game temporarily, or you know what I'm talking about. And it's always bothered me that where's my brush? And it's never quite made sense. It's, yeah, I could see spending a bit of money to have a bit of fun and something you enjoy. There isn't anything inherently wrong with that, but the levels that people go to for that stuff is very worrying sometimes. Again, like that, is it gambling game you linked? And I can't remember the name of that. Furniture and swords and things. Yeah, it's just, I like doing that stuff too. But it's a weird mindset, and it's yeah. She linked a video of the guy talking about this game that uses entirely real world money. Well, not entirely, but you can play it free, but I can't remember the name, but it's a space sci-fi-ish type game. You go around doing things, and people have made entire businesses and communities and stuff and investments into that game for different things. And it's a neat concept and whatnot, but not one I could ever take advantage of or fully enjoy. It's oh, there she goes. It's not quite microtransactions. It's, I would pay you to buy your gun, or I would pay this to have that player sell me that thing. It's an actual market of things with some skill things. It's worth a look if you're interested. But it's one of those things. Yeah, it's Entropia. Oh, that's the hell of a name. Entropy. That's not a very uplifting name. Jewels and stuff. Oh. Yeah, no, it's I know what you're talking about with shit like that. Yeah, it's not overly fun having to deal with some of that shit. Nope. Steam, take this off my library. Now, on one hand, microtransactions in and of themselves are not bad, but when they become the sole focus of the game is when it all goes to shit. Like I've seen some oddball there's this one video series, I see it every so often, about these guys who reenact in-game mechanics in a satire way, generally fantasy oriented. And one of them was like, dude dressed up like a peasant. Congratulations, hero, you are on a quest to do yada yada, whatever it is. Okay, what I gotta do? You have to kill 10 rats. Okay. Goes up, stabs a rat 3 times, the sword breaks. Oh no, looks like your sword is broken. Would you like to buy such and such to fix your sword? Sure. Okay, let's go with that. And when the whole game is built around the microtransaction mindset, that's what the focus of everything in the game is going to be. But I don't know, it's just a very it's a very gray area, and more towards the black area than the white, the dark side, what have you. But there are games where microtransactions are okay. I think my brother and my father played Guild Wars 2. That had one that was actually a pretty good way to go about it, but they ruined their game in other ways, where the only money you could spend was on cosmetic aspects. None of it was actually physically gameplay required, which made the gameplay a lot more palatable. And buying left and right, it's well, it works. People pay for that. Hell, there's a new game that has recently been released called Genshin Impact. It's a Chinese developed game that has blatantly copied Zelda Breath of the Wild and other assets from other games, and it has microtransactions. There's term for it, gacha games, GACHA, where you pay money for a chance to get a thing, basically a virtual slot machine for miscellaneous prizes. And you can just see it inherently. When they start going down that path, they end up going full into it, and it's sad when things do that, because if a game was focused on gameplay or good fun or something like that, that's what they would focus their attention on. Now there's always being said you have to have be paid for your work, and like the guys who put work into all that stuff need to get paid, so they got to do it one way. Life in the game are so cute. Sure, maybe, but if you gotcha roll to win whatever the hell it is not a very healthy way of going about things, because it leads to, give me a sec. It leads to predatory tactics, where people will become addicted and want to continue playing and paying for what have you. It's straight up gambling. It just is. No, weird subject, but yeah. Over there too, wouldn't there? Sorry, but yeah, that's not my style of fun. And it will lead to worse video game practice. Yeah. They're the same, and the next one will make it worse, and cycle continues. Well, the worst part of it is, any of the companies that try and do it without microtransactions end up financially suffering horribly because of it, because they don't make as much money as the other ones that do. Hell, Genshin Impact, the one I was just talking about. I saw a thread the other day. They talked about they had like a huge budget, like I want to say $200 million on the budget of the game. I don't think that's accurate, but my memory's faulty on the exact number, but 2 million, 20 million, 200 million, something like that. And they made their money back already. So, and it's a free game. So amount of people have spent 20 million, I'm just gonna say $20 million in gacha transactions already for that game. And it's why it just, so clearly I won't ever play it. And stuff like that, because there are other games where they like let you pet the dog and odd little things like that. They work at making a fun, interesting experience where you can do all this little shit. Those are the fun ones I like working with. I think that's looking pretty decent. A bit of a touch up on some of these areas, but looking alright. But yeah, it's, the problem is, financially speaking, the gambling aspect is the way to go. It is superior in every aspect except fun. And then you have the games that are really fun but are financial flops because they don't make any money after that. It's a really sad state of things. And some of the other stuff is I see it currently as companies are working really hard to is this still any good? Yeah. Give me a second, I'll try and I'll work on it. Companies, I see it, but I can't quite explain it right. Companies are working, well, this is black, this is not white. So I mix this up so fucking much because I see this as white, and oh yeah, that's the color. But no. This is white. It's got the black label here and the white here. I mix it up so much. But yeah, companies work at trying to squeak out every dollar they can, and it's gotten to a point where it's hard to enter the market because currently you're going up against financial giants and you just can't compete financially with them. But you can try, and it like to get into video game design or whatever, you've got the indie group, which is they just come up with a small niche little game. It's lacking a bit of polish, it's got a lot of flaws, but you can tell they put some heart into it some of the time. Not always, but some of the time. And then there's the AAA financial megaglomerate MMO, what have you, which absolutely dominates the frame. And there's no middle ground. There just is no middle ground whatsoever. And I think that's one of the problems with the current setup. There's no middle ground. There's no way to bridge that gap. So the people who are working and exploiting the system are still way the hell up there, and there's just no way to catch up to them. And then you have all the horrible business practices where they purposely keep everybody down to continue that mindset. Just tiniest bit of red. Any more than that, and it's probably already too much. Come on, just pick it up. I can see it. I can see it all happening, but because like it's also similar to like all those people who do scams and such, where they like you've got one company that spends years in development working at getting this one game or movie going. The movies are a perfect example. You've got all these Disney movies that they spend years perfecting, and then you have all these knockoffs that like Finding Nemo. Then they come out with Finding Fish. You have one that's Ratatouille. They come out with Ratatouille, and it's like they sell it, and it's blatantly a copy, solely off of box art. And yeah, and like I'm not kidding you. It's maybe next time I'm at Walmart, I'll take a picture of some of those and show you. But yeah, they have like just the absolute most blatant knockoffs that they can. Cars, they have like what the hell is it? Vehicles too, or something retarded. Oh, you could just look up Disney knockoffs. You'll find it that way. Transmorphers. It's just the dumbest shit. But the thing is, they do that because they make money at it. There are people out there who pay for that, who will, like grandparents who mistake it, stupid kids who thought it was the actual real thing that they could save a buck on, stuff like that. And it financially works for them. It just does. And they spent a fraction of what it took to get to that, what the original people did, and it's weird. I see that happen just all over the place. And I don't know, it's weird, and it's shit like that that's made me just no longer have faith in anybody as a whole. I have faith in people individually, but they have to kind of prove it first. So. It's turning out a bit odd. A bit more white for some of this. Yeah, I don't know. The world is weird. Oh, yeah, no, it's just... Here. Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. Give me just one moment. Yeah, it's just, there was one that was a really stupid movie. Well, let's toss in knockoff. Ratatouille. Okay. Here. This is one of the knockoff movies. I've literally seen it in the store. Let's see if that actually comes up with a link. Yeah, there we are. That is a knockoff movie for Ratatouille. And just... it's a mouse that cooks, and that is the legit outline for it. It's bizarre. And now imagine that for everything. Little Mermaid, Cars, Toy Story. It's just, they have those all over the place. Bad CGI. Oh, yeah. No, they're all like that. They're all like that. And you can totally imagine some, like, grandparent that's like, oh, my sonny wanted this Ratatouille thing movie. Oh, I think this is it. I'll pick this one out for him. He'll love that. And then as the kid, you have to, thank you, Grandma. This is exactly what I wanted. But yeah, I have legit seen that in the store on a shelf. That is legit. The world's weird. But yeah, just type in like any Disney movie and type in the word knockoff and you'll find something similar. I'd imagine anyway. Let's see if I can find some other ones. Yeah, I think there was one for Tangled as well. There we are. It's a bad picture for it, but it's apparently... well, here, we'll use this picture. But yeah, it's like, the whole thing is that I think there's even some like YouTubers out there who like review that shit. But it's phenomenal just how much is out there. The craziest thing is, if they didn't make any money at it, they wouldn't be doing it. So obviously it's successful somehow. Yeah, there's a knockoff of just about any Disney movie you can imagine. Somebody out there has made it at like, and paid somebody $5 to make the whole thing. Then they sell it for 20 a piece. Just... but it's a weird state everything is in. Figure this out. Blending is hard. Blending is really hard. Let's try it. Can't quite see what I'm doing here, but just... this is not looking right. I can fix it. I can fix it. Just give me some time. But yeah, Tangled Up. Yeah. But yeah, there's just look up some knockoffs, and they're all there. people have it for just about anything. And some of the stuff is just amazing what they've decided to knock off. It's like, why the hell would you try and knock that off? A lot of it is like, hell, I saw one the other day, on YouTube. The dude was talking about it. It was an Avatar: The Last Airbender knockoff. The TV show. And they, did it to the Chinese elements, but did it poorly. And, I think there's too much of a discrepancy between the shades here. Alright, so I need to... Well, let's work with that. Let's work with that. And it was just... A lot of it is... If you've ever seen the show, or at least know of it, the show Jimmy Neutron, and that style of artwork, that's kind of what it looked like. And they just... This is not right at all. It's too dark, too dark. I need to brighten that up. Let's try you. You work. How do I fix this? How do I fix this? Blending is really, really hard. I can't quite get it. But yeah, Jimmy Neutron, I kind of grew up with that guy. His misadventures in science. Okay, so this has to be a hell of a lot brighter. It's too dark here. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, smudge tool on Photoshop. Shit. Yeah, just smudge, right? There we go. Just do it that way. Click, click, all done, right? A little bit different than traditional artwork, man. Just a little. Oh, yeah. I've talked about it a bit before, but I'm gonna be trying to do a Halloween. Let me rephrase. I will be doing a Halloween fan art. Next week, starting with Sunday or so. But I'm torn between doing a Dylanor Knox costume or a Beatrice costume. There's two characters I'm interested in trying it out on, and one of them is kind of a calm, timid, booky type character, and I was thinking of turning her into Dylanor. Or there's another completely off the walls kind of crazy person that I was thinking about dressing up in a Beatrice outfit. I'm torn on which one I should do. But yeah, that's one I'm going to be trying to work on in for the next 2 weeks or so. Dylanor? Alright, so be it. We'll work with the Dylanor one. Because my concept of the Beatrice one is she she the there's Lilith and Nama are the two names for it. It's like Eureka. Cool. So in Las Vegas, it's fan art is really interesting in and of itself. It's I go on so many tangents here, but yeah, it's fan art tends to be just things that people really enjoy working with. And that was a bit too bright. Before I get sidetracked, the Lilith and Nama character. The Nama character is the one I was going to dress up in Beatrice. And I could totally see her back arched, like horribly, arms to the side widely, and just facing the heavens, cackling maniacally in a Beatrice outfit. I could totally see that working. As she's potentially running down the hallway or something like that. But then I thought of Lilith, the booky kind of character, having like Dillinore's like smirk, dressed up as a proper and official clerical person. Yeah, that's the part I'm torn on. It's like, well, maybe I could do both. Maybe I could work at trying to squeeze them both in. The two characters are sisters, on different mindsets. But it's right there, right there. Better, that's better. It's working, it's working. You know what? I'm gonna think on it. Today I'm gonna be thinking on it, maybe rough out a few ideas. Because they are also kind of like rivals. Sort of. What would you consider Dillinore and Beatrice's relationship? Is there a name for what that would be? Because they're kind of rivals, but kind of not. Because Battler is officially the rival. But Dillinore is a part of the heavens, and so they have to go the anti-witch stuff. I don't know. It's I like both the ideas, but I personally have shut off. I've put it off too much to officially try and do both. Unless, well, I could make a mad dash for it. Maybe. I don't know. It's. I am a very decisive person, can't you tell? There's a name for everything. It's maybe look for a German word. They have a lot of very fascinating and specific words for stuff. Of course, they have like really big words for a lot of other things too. So, I don't know. But yeah, frenemies. That would probably do it. Frenemies. That would actually probably be a really apt word for it. So that's like this. It's if I do it, it'll be a bit of a simpler option than I have here. Yeah, let's go this route. Let's try a wash. Will that work? Sorry, it's trying to focus on some of the stuff here. It's a bit too drastic a change in the color there. Let's try that one there. Blending is difficult. I continue to struggle with it. But yeah, I like the I go off on too many tangents. But I like the Corey Beatrice. What? What? What do you mean by that? You mean like me in Beatrice outfit? Wig and all, or? What do you mean by Corey Beatrice? Or do you mean the Corey, capital Corey Beatrice, as in the the new Endless Witch? Hope that might be the thing I'm missing. Wow, that's very fast drawing. Yeah, Beatrice's outfit for starters. Okay. Honestly, I've thought more about being in Battler's outfit as a thing to try. His old white tuxedo, a white suit. What is specifically a tuxedo as opposed to a suit? Sorry, but I could go into a Beatrice outfit. Maybe we'll start up like a fundraiser, reach a monetary goal, and I'll do it. That'll be something else, though. Of course, that was actually one of the oddball theories I tossed out there. Had at one point for Battler. Battler was Beatrice. He just split personality, something or other. And so it was like him just thinking he was Beatrice or something. Could work. Yeah. Yep. Maybe I'll do that. This is weird. It is. I'll set up a monetary goal. So we hit that point at some point. I can't talk right now. We hit that monetary goal. I'll toss on a Beatrice outfit. I'll find one. Might be hard to find one in my size, but I'll toss it on for stream. The question is, what goal should we reach for? I'll look into it. Well, yeah. Could be a weird thing to try one day. In concept, potentially. In reality, not so much. People who are their own waifus tend not to be the most level-headed of sorts. this is sort of working. Slowly and surely it's coming a bit better together. Not quite how I'm managing to make it look right, but I won't complain. Now, from my own curiosity, why exactly are you wanting to see Corey Beatrice? Any particular reason for that one? Or is it just because you would just be crazy? Yeah, because I fit in a really weird situation, I guess. I have done belly dancing. I have actually legitimately worn skirts before, mostly for performance. It's waist to ankle skirts. They're called 25-yard skirts, and they actually help out a lot for the performance. So it's like I haven't worn female clothing before, but I'm still a dude, so it's weird. I don't know. Just as long as you don't do anything weird with it. Of course, it's the internet. The internet never forgets. I don't know. We'll work it out. I'll figure something out for you. Yeah. It could be a project all on its own. Hell, how would I make it? I could make the whole outfit. That would be a bit expensive, though. You know what the hell? Or I'll look into it. Well, see what all it might take. Charge you for it. Could be interesting. Could be kind of fun. Could be a whole new thing we start going down weird old outfits to make. Because I did enjoy the sewing aspect of when I was working with the doll clothes. It was fun sewing and doing that stuff. I just couldn't ever get the measurements on the doll. They were just too precise for anything I had. And that is not what I needed. How much do you want? Oh, let's... Yeah. At the very minimum, enough to either make or buy the outfit. Yeah. It's like, money is not really a motivating factor for me. It never really has been. Which is kind of weird. I like experiences, memories, events with friends, stuff like that. But, like I said, I'll get back to you on that one. Well, maybe. What? For now, let's just sit at around 100. Just even 100 for the simple goal to work for right now. Not a hell of a lot, but not too little. Maybe I'll start my own Kickstarter goal. a gradient scale for it. If we make like $1,000, I'll make a piece accurate version of it for cosplay from scratch. I'll weave the fabric myself. Which could be interesting. Beato for hire. Yeah, not quite. Kickstarter. Scratch. I'm always fascinated by doing things from scratch. Doing it instead of just buying pieces and putting them together, but like actually making the pieces that you bought and weaving. Yeah, my folks have even looked into doing some weaving stuff with flaxseed, actually growing flaxseed, whatever, filtering out the stuff needed and turning it into an actual weavable fabric for canvas for miscellaneous projects. So it's I'm not unfamiliar with all that stuff, and hell, a lot of the projects I do I have to do from scratch, like chainmail making devices. I had to figure out how to cut and make chainmail on my own because I couldn't afford the whole outfit for all that stuff. This was a bit too much. Put it back down. That's just too drastic a change there. That's better. Alright, but yeah, it's always fun to me for like doing it from scratch, doing it entirely, at least conceptually. Practically speaking, doing things from scratch is a bit different. It's 9 times out of 10 easier to just buy it outright and then put it together that way. But yeah, I've always enjoyed just trying to know I've made every piece of whatever it is I'm working on. Come on. Like the doll outfits, for instance. I liked putting it all together as opposed to piecing it together, like buying this shirt and those shorts and put it together to get the outfit. No, I made the shirt, I made the shorts, I made the outfit. It's a different experience, a different mindset, something else to do, and a bit more pride involved in it, I guess. That's one way to look about it. And I guess of all the sins, sloth and pride would probably be my biggest ones, which don't really go well together. That is another oddball topic. Like, the 7 deadly sins are always brought up in things. There's also the 7 heavenly virtues, but I can't ever remember what they are. Nobody ever brings those ones up. But yeah, like the 7 sisters of purgatory and the like. It's whenever the sins are brought up, I always have to sit there and think and look at which ones apply to me. Not as a repent sinner type of thing, but I wonder which ones apply to me now. Because I think looking at like what sin describes you most, or which one applies to you most, can give you a better concept of where you're at, like a bit of a reality check for you, if that's one way to put it. Words don't quite work right here, but I think sloth has always been a very big one for me, as is pride. But recently, I think envy has been starting to work its way up there. Not intentionally or anything like that, but I've seen myself succumbing to it a bit often. Not anything bad, but just notice things like that. It's a weird little thing. I also do all this weird shit. What sin applies to me? Who the hell does that? But I like thinking of just outside the box things. How things apply to life. Or trying to it's a weird, lack of a better term. There's this other people, some things. Yeah, it happens. No, I know it's humans are beings of sin, therefore oh god. I hear something horrible. I remembered seeing this in an internet comment at one point. There was some like Twitter, Tumblr comment, one or the other. I can't remember. It was a screen cap that I saw somewhere, and it was the question: is Jesus a boobs man or a butt man? And like people got really upset and offended about it, and then the guy came back. Well, it said that Jesus is a now forgive me, I do not read the scripture or anything like that. But Jesus was as human as the rest of us. He sinned the same as us. So, therefore, if he was human, he would have had impulses just like the rest of us. So the question stands, was he a boobs man or a butt man? And you can't quite deny the logic, because if he was human, but didn't have human behaviors, he wouldn't be human. So he had to there was never an answer for that one, but it was a weird, silly, heretical train of thought. But it's so yeah, it's the religious implications aside, it's always interesting trying to look at things in a different point of view, a different mindset, a different light. He liked them equally. That could be a fair point. He was a man of fairness. But yeah, it's one of the other aspects of my being a bit is to question life, question the world. He was gay anyway. Then there's that aspect of things. I don't think that was the case, but I have literally nothing to stand on to support my claims. But yeah, some people say just about everything. Some people say he was best friends with Tyrannosaurus and was able to time travel and do random crazy shit. I don't know. He kissed with Judas. Yeah, like I said, I haven't read any of the books. I just know generic knowledge about most of it. Well, parts of it, rather. But yeah, it's and the other aspect of things is it's probably partway a joke. The guy talking about it just to rile some people up. So don't be so serious in life. It's not quite that as fun that way. Yeah, life. It's meant to be enjoyed. It's meant to be, at least my thoughts on the matter. Life is meant to be, have fun, go out and do things, experiment, try stuff. And again, that's I really link back to this a lot, don't I? But why moving? Going out, trying new things, and actually experiencing life. Because the big one for me is going out and choosing my life and not letting my life be chosen for me. It's a bit weird, but like I could stay here. It's I would be perfectly safe, normal, okay. But in that regards, my life would kind of be chosen for me. My life here would be whatever happens, happens. But by choosing to move, I have chosen to live my own life. All the faults, all the problems, all the positives, all the negatives, they are by my choice. And that's what I'm gonna do. If I go there, end up homeless for 3 months, and then come back crying home, so be it. That's what my life has done. But I can say with pride that I chose to do something I wanted to do. I didn't let life just sit by and happen to me. I took a chance and let it be. What, something else. Because yeah, I see I could live here, just straight up, no real issues here other than boredom and nothing changing. But going out and living life, experiencing life, doing new and different aspects of the world, it's a really tempting offer, I guess is one word to put it, and one I don't want to pass up. I don't want to have my life just pass me by, sitting here doing same old, waiting for something interesting and fascinating to happen to me. I want to take a chance, and this is a big chance for me to go out and take life by the horns and just do it the way I want to do it. Anyway, that is going to be it for today. We've hit 6 o'clock. And 50-50 chance we'll be working on this tomorrow. We'll be working on this or the Halloween project. Because now you guys have got me thinking about what to do about it. I could go the safe route and choose one of the characters, probably Dylan, and work on that. Or I could do the complicated option and try and rush Dylanor and Beatrice in a single picture. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. Or I could try, or die trying. Anyway, I've got things to think out, as well as the Beatrice dress outfit idea. I'm gonna look into that and the movie, and I got a lot of homework now, don't I? Anyway, see you later. Take care. Till next time. Have a good one.